Well, joining us now here on the program, we are learning more about Farm Athletes, a recently launched initiative that's supporting NCAA athletes that come from farming and ranching backgrounds. And here to tell us more about this, I think it's a really cool thing that they are doing. Troy Stickles is with us from Farm Athletes, and also Jordan Karstens, former NFL player and NCAA walk on. Troy, Jordan, thank you both for being here. This is a really exciting thing you guys are doing. Glad to have you with us on the show today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Troy, let's start with you. Give us just kind of a background on Farm Athletes and how this all got started.
Yeah, sure. Our it kind of got started by Tractor Tuesday. Zach Bosley is kind of the founder of Tractor Tuesday, which is our online auction platform that we both kind of help out with. Also, Zach just had this vision of him being a farm kid and being an athlete, that there's just a lot of opportunity to help kids that are growing up on a farm that want to play high level college sports, and how do we support those kids who may not be, eligible for NIL deals or, some of this collective money. And so Tractor Tuesday kind of kicked this off and got this going through NIL sponsorships with college athletes. So started in August. We did a nationwide just publication, press releases, reaching out to schools like Iowa State has been a big one, where Jordan went to, and just trying to find kids who want to help, want to participate in this, who are playing college sports, grew up on a farm or ranch. And so Tractor Tuesday did some NIL deals with those students, and we sent them some of our stuff and really helped us promote that. And we got such an amazing response from all over the country. We've got, kids that are playing in California, Texas, of course, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois. I mean, just all over, wide range of kids, and they've all just been phenomenal to kind of get to know and follow. And so they've been helping us promote Tractor Tuesday. And then with the landscape of college sports really changing here in 2025, that walk-on thing is probably going to die out, which is sad, because a lot of cool stories, just like Jordan's story, could go away. And so we're going to shift over to more of a scholarship-based program, where we're just working with donors and supporters to develop, either our own scholarships to support students straight from Farm Athletes, or say we have a large donor co-op that wants to do their own scholarship program, and we can facilitate that and kind of do the legwork for them and help them promote their ag business. And so that's kind of where we're headed in the future. We're just finalizing things and really getting geared up to shift away from the NIL part of it and focus more into scholarship. So it's been fun. The athletes have been just really cool. I talked to one on the phone the other day, and I was like, I didn't think I'd ever follow Illinois State football, but it's kind of cool to watch. Like, they made the playoffs, and everybody just sees the Division I games on TV. You don't see these amazing athletes that are sometimes even in Division II and III. So we're excited. We've got a great team put together, and we're going to make this a big thing.
Well, I know the website's farmathletes.com. Jordan, I'd love to bring you in and get your perspective here on why you've partnered up with this initiative and more, and why this is important to you. I think about, I'm a small town Iowa kid myself. Like, something like this being around when I was going to college would have been huge potentially. And I'm sure for you as well, as you walked down at Iowa State and ended up with a great NFL career and more. So, I mean, from your perspective, why is something like this important for kids coming off the farm and ranch going to school?
Yeah, I think, if we have an opportunity to help these kids out, I understand firsthand, like you said, the challenges of trying to be a kid that doesn't have a full ride scholarship, somebody that's trying to pay their own way in school, and balance all their academics with athletics at the college level while trying to pay for all that can be very challenging. I did that for a year at Iowa State before I actually went on scholarship there. So I understand firsthand that challenge. And that's why when Zach brought this up to me that he was starting this, I was more than happy to get involved. And my involvement has just increased as we go along here because I think it's a great cause. And I know that, a lot of these ag companies that want to donate, it can be mutually beneficial for them also. You get a lot of exposure from some of these kids. There's a lot of great stories out there of kids that have walked on and become successful. So ag companies, I would think would want to be involved in that when they come from farm backgrounds and, eventually end up, a lot of them do like myself, end up back on the farm. So I think it's just a great cause to help those kids out.
Considering your story too, Jordan, I mean, if something like Farm Athletes was around when you were going to school, I mean, how much from your perspective would this have changed the conversation potentially for you? And even to Troy's comment earlier about, the way things are shifting, maybe the walk-on program, kind of dies away. I mean, thinking back about your story, how much would have something like Farm Athletes changed things for you potentially?
I think, I was able to do it. I was able to balance all that. I had a lot of help from Iowa State University. They gave me, every tool that was available to a full scholarship kid through study tables and tutors, all that stuff. I took full advantage of that. I also can think of quite a few that couldn't balance that. So, I think if there was some, just because of what they were going through and all the stuff they had to juggle and balance. So, I think if something like this was available then, there may have been a few more kids that would have stuck it out and been able to, manage the balance between those two things. So, I think just knowing what it takes to all the time commitment that goes into, especially today, I played over 20 years ago. Today, I can't imagine that it's any less. I bet it's way more commitment and just the amount of time they have to put in. So doing all that and, either getting a part-time job or taking out student loans or whatever you have to do to make those payments and to pay for that on your own, I think it would be very challenging today. So, I think going forward, there's going to be a lot of opportunities to help kids that are trying to do that.
Troy, I'll bring this back to you. And you kind of mentioned this earlier. We got this world of NIL and kind of looking at going more to the scholarship side, et cetera. And to Jordan's point, ag companies, getting folks to donate here to fund some of these scholarships and et cetera, for these athletes. I mean, from your perspective, Troy, how can companies get involved? I mean, and talk about that aspect for us.
Yeah, we're at a stage right now where we'd like to meet with people. We'd like to sit down. I had the pleasure of going out to Iowa and going and visiting a co-op there with Jordan and just having a conversation about, the struggles that kids can have, like Jordan mentioned, just coming from the farm and wanting to play basketball. And I played college basketball. I didn't come from a farm, but it's a struggle. Like it's a full-time job sometimes just to be an athlete. And so we want to have conversations. We're still developing and learning from people. But I think as we move forward, I would hope that a lot of people that are involved in the ag world will see this as a huge benefit and want to kind of come to the table and partner with us. And so that's kind of my role, is to get out there and start spreading the word about what we're doing. And obviously shows like this are a great benefit to us. And so, just reach out. I mean, the website has a ton of information. They can contact me and we can just start a conversation and get things rolling. And I think it's, again, going to turn out to be a really cool deal all over the country. So.
And again, that website, farmathletes.com, and it just feels like a great opportunity to allow kids on the farm and ranch to continue their education and their sport career and much, much more, whatever sports they're playing at the college level, et cetera. Before we wrap it up, guys, Troy, Jordan, any final thoughts from either of you? Anything you'd want to reiterate to folks about the work you guys are doing with farm athletes?
Jordan, you want to go last? Or
Yeah, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to get on here and talk about it. I am really happy to be able to help in this project. I think it's a really good cause. I think, once we can, like Troy said, once we can sit down and really have a conversation with folks about the challenges that these kids are having, and how that little bit of help can really help out, I think it can go a long ways. So we're really excited to be involved here, and excited to see where this thing can go in the future.
Absolutely. Troy?
Yeah, I would echo exactly what Jordan said. I think we're excited for this opportunity. I think it's a great idea that was developed and to kind of mold it and go forward. We've got a great group of people on the board of directors here that are been meeting and just kind of working through things. So, we're just asking people to kind of consider it. Reach out if it's something you're interested in partnering on. But I think we're going to be able to help a lot of kids, and we're excited for the future.
Farmathletes.com for more information. Troy Stickles, Jordan Karstens, thank you both for joining us here on the show today, telling us more about this great project, and we'll look forward to talking again in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jesse.